Mom gets call from doctors, she can't look at her son the same way. She looked down at her beautiful angel, but it wasn't with the same joy as when she had first given birth. There was still love. However, now there was also crushing sadness, pain, and confusion. One phone call had completely destroyed their family. She was now faced with an impossible decision. Malisetti had gone through an agonizing and difficult birth. While other mothers were holding their little bundles of joy, she was being rushed into the surgery for an emergency C-section. Even after her child came into the world, the ending wasn't what it should have been. Amidst a flood of painkillers and exhaustion, all she wanted was to hold her infant. But all she got was a quick glimpse before they hurried away, and she was relocated to a different ward. It felt like medical prison. It was 2 lonely tear-filled days in recovery before she was deemed strong enough for a reunion. As soon as she held her baby, the tears turned to elation. She rocked the tiny miracle and hummed the lullabies her mother had sung to her. Things finally felt complete. It wasn't until she pulled back the swaddling did she notice something jarringly wrong and called for a nurse. Malisetti pointed out the problem, but the staff reaction wasn't at all what she expected. Her cheeks turned red with embarrassment and rage as the nurses all laughed at her. They chalked it up to new mom hormones and told her to relax. It only got worse when the doctor came in. He gave the same condescending chuckle. But when she wouldn't give up and insisted there was something wrong, his eyes turned hard. He told her to stop making up ridiculous stories. It was horrible. With no sympathy or concern, they patched her up and sent her home with her new baby. Deep down, the worry stayed. For 2 years, Malisetti watched her son, Zama, blossom into a beautiful, energetic and upbeat boy. Along with her other son, it was the only thing in life that kept her going, especially when her days turned dark and her husband left her. It was this divorce that sparked an unthinkable nightmare. Malisetti sat bowling on the sofa as her ex screamed into the phone that he wanted a paternity test. He didn't believe Zama was his. Her family lived on the poor side of town, jobs were scarce, and having another income leave the home would mean the worst for her boys. In the end, she had no choice. When the results finally came back and she tore open the envelope, she couldn't believe her eyes. A flood of memories came crashing down on her, the nurses laughing and the doctor's judgmental stare. Zama wasn't her husband's child. But that wasn't the worst part. The next line made her stomach lurch into her throat. Zama wasn't her baby either. She stared at the paper, feeling the world fall away and her heart disintegrate. Deep down she had known something was wrong. She had sworn she had given birth to a baby girl. But she had begrudgingly trusted the doctor's words. How could this have happened? Malisetti sat devastated in the hospital lobby, waiting for answers. As she watched her sons play together, she felt her soul tear in two. It only got worse when they finally came back with an appalling answer. Her baby had been switched with another. The only excuse they could give was a midwife mistake. 10 mothers had gone through C-sections that day. Malisetti and another woman had both been sent to the ICU and never got to see their babies. What made things even worse was the 2 switched children weren't even the same gender. It turns out things were going to be even worse for the other mother. It was a meeting like nothing Malisetti had ever experienced before. The week leading up to it had been filled with bullying phone calls and angry screaming at doctors. The other mother had no clue her daughter wasn't hers. There was never an ultrasound or gender reveal. She had just assumed she had given birth to a girl and went home. The 2 women sat across from each other, holding their real children and exchanging looks that spoke volumes. There was sympathy and understanding that both of them had an impossible choice, one that no parent should ever have to make. How were they going to make this work? Malisetti took the other mother by the hand and promised one thing. No matter what, they would figure this out. She would never keep Zama from his birth mother. And, a fragment of her heart was restored with a woman adamantly promised the same. They would get through this together. Somehow, they would be a family.